North Clarion High School with the North Clarion girls basketball team coming off their third consecutive District 9 Class 1A title. Let's start with that, ladies. First of all, let's just introduce everybody. We've got Mackenzie Bauer on my far left, your right. Then we've got Gabby Carl, Abby Gatesman, and then to my right, Gabby Smader. So many Gabbies and Abbies that I'll mess this up a few times. Then we have Haley Sherman and Addison Shaftick. These six, along with Sierra Manross, who was not able to join us today, kind of made up the rotation at the end of the season for the She-Wolves. And ladies, first of all, you know, coming off of back-to-back titles, but knowing that you guys were losing Tori Obenrader, a lot of people didn't think that a third title was in the cards for you guys, but I know that wasn't the sentiment in the locker room. You know, what did you guys talk about at the end of last season?
We just had to pick up where we left off and just keep playing well.
And I think that there were a lot of areas where we needed to improve on, where Tori left big gaps in with the rebounding and just the inside presence that she had. So that was a big thing that we knew we had to get better at that.
We knew we couldn't fill in Tori's shoes, but we knew we needed to do what we could to still be the great team that we know we can be. So we stepped up in every possible way we could.
And I think each one of us stepped up in a way, rebounding and everything.
Was losing early on to Brookville maybe a good thing because it kind of took the pressure off of, I know Abby doesn't like losing at all, but in some ways was that kind of a good thing because it maybe took the pressure off of you having coming off an undefeated season last year?
I know that it definitely was a shock to us because we were going in thinking that we need to beat them. We know how big of a game it would be, but it definitely pushed us to do better the rest of the season, especially when we played Cranberry. We were like, we don't want to lose, so let's play the way we know how to.
That game to me sort of was the game that you guys announced that you were here to stay, that, like, you know, you guys had a shot this year. Did you guys feel that way in that Cranberry game, the way that you beat them? And I know Ava Farringer got hurt in that game, but you guys from the opening tip of that game on, you guys really played well. Was that kind of what you guys were trying to do? Hey, we're going to make a statement here.
Oh yeah, it was a big game for the North, just be able to get that win against a team that was really good and had some really good players on it. And it was really unfortunate that Ava got hurt. We were all really sad to see that happen. So obviously it was not a part of the game that we want to see, but we were happy to get the win.
You know what, Addison, get up and make sure that we're recording. I don't want to like be done.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a movie.
Sometimes, folks, when you do things live, you have to check on things. So that'll be part of the video. I want to make sure that's part of the video. Just some people
nice.
get something to laugh about as we're doing this too. As you guys got into the season, there were some periods where maybe things didn't go quite the way that you wanted them to go. Maybe struggled a little more than what you guys were used to. Talk about how you guys were able to handle that and work through some of that.
I think a lot of those times like really motivated us more just to like keep pushing and really get the win.
Yeah, and I think this was a 100% learning year for all of us. I mean, most all of us get to come back for next year, so a lot of that was being in situations we weren't necessarily in before and just learning from those experiences.
What did you guys learn from the loss at AC Valley? Again, I know that's a game that you guys really wanted, and it didn't go your way this time around. So how did that all work out for you?
That was big motivation for us because, I mean, 18 points, that's one of the biggest losses that we've had in the last couple of years.
Yes.
So I think that was a complete punch in the face.
So when we were going to play them next time, we were going to try and step up and like see like what we did wrong the first game.
And even though you guys didn't win that KSAC title game, you really did play a lot better. You know, you only lost it, I think it was 6-7 points, whatever it was, maybe even less than that.
I think it was 30.
They know better than I know, obviously, yeah. Folks, which isn't really a surprise at all. But, you know, obviously that was a tough loss. But what did you guys learn from that game that helped you in the District 9 playoffs?
Like, we just didn't want to lose again. We just, yeah.
It kind of showed how all of our hard work, even though we lost a few games that were pretty important, showed that we were able to prove that we were a strong team. And then going into the districts, we knew we couldn't lose because we'd be done if we lost.
And one loss doesn't define us as a team.
Yes.
Yeah, and I feel like we learned how to play as a team better.
And then you guys come out in that Elk game, and you really start strong. How important was it to make a statement early in that game for you guys? I know it got close and you had to battle, but how important was it to come out and make a statement early on?
That gave us a lot of momentum towards the second quarter and a little bit on. I think that starting well is really important to a game as well as finishing it, but I think that was really important to how we were able to get out to a big lead.
After the big win against Coudersport in the semifinals, you're playing a Johnsonburg team that beat you already. So you guys are in a different situation. You're the underdogs now for the first time in a long time. Did you guys talk about that at all?
We talked about how they were a fast team, how they knew how to work the ball really good. They can move it real fast, and we needed to have great defense. We couldn't slack the way we do in some games and take advantage of that. We knew that they were a good team, and we couldn't step down to their level, I guess. That's what you could say.
I think our defense took a huge part in the game.
Abby, you took a huge part in that game early on. You came out on fire. Kind of as the most experienced player on this team, did you feel like it was your responsibility at that point in time to step up?
Yeah, I think towards the middle and end of the season, I just wasn't playing where the team needed me to necessarily be playing at. So I think that for that game, it was just, we knew that we wanted to win that game, especially after coming off that KSAC game. We wanted the D9, and that was something that we were playing against a good team where we can't kind of go out and not play very good and expect to win. So.
And Gabby, you had been struggling with your shot for a long time in the playoffs, and yet you weren't afraid to take the shot when you were open at the end of the game and end up hitting perhaps, and I've written this and I've said this, perhaps maybe the biggest shot in North Clarion girls basketball history. Just talk about how you're able to put aside everything and still have confidence in yourself.
I think the biggest help is Coach always telling me, especially, and the rest of the team, you have to keep shooting. He knows that we can shoot, and he knows that it's all in our head whenever we can't make it. So whenever it came to me, I was like, the team needs this right now. I need to focus, and when it came to me, I shot it, and thank goodness it went in because I was about to start crying.
But doesn't that kind of sum up your team? Like, it was really could have been any one of you that took that shot. And isn't that maybe what made you guys so good, is the fact that you guys were a team?
We all worked together. We all knew we could do what we needed to do to step up. If one of us got shut down, the other one was going to step up. That's what made us so great.
One of the things that impressed me the most about you guys was everybody at different times took their game to another level. Mackenzie, you took your game from being maybe a 6-7 point a game scorer to being one of the better players in the KSAC and in the district. Just talk about what it was between last year and this year that really clicked in for you.
Well, I played at AU, and I think that really helped me, and I just worked on off-season, and then it helped in on-season.
And, Gabby, for you, it was really, it waited until the playoffs for you to have your best. But, there's not a better time to have your best, play your best. What was it, even after maybe not having the regular season scoring-wise that you wanted, that when you got to the playoffs, you were able to step your game up?
I think it was because I just didn't want my season to be done, and I just want to keep going on. So.
Yeah, we all joked that she had the juju.
She had the juju.
She was just shooting so well for us.
Haley, you really had big shoes to fill. They asked you to come in and do a lot of what Tori Obenrader did. None of that seemed to ever get to you, though. You became really a monster on the boards, went after the glass really hard. What did you do in the off-season to just get better at that?
Oh, I was also on the AAU team. And then I also worked with Coach a lot during the summer, and I knew Tori was a big part of the rebounding and the inside game. So I knew I was going to have to step up and really work on it in the summer.
And you, Gabby, you had to understand what your role was, and you were a really good defensive player, along with being able to provide those points at different times, like everybody else. What was it that accepting the role that they gave you, and how hard is that sometimes to not be the person that maybe is always being asked to take the shots, but knowing what your role is?
Well, usually I go by the people on the team. Like, if there's a great shooter, I know I'm probably going to be guarding them. So I got to play the great defense. I've got to step up on it. I got to make sure I'm helping and not getting out of my spot on position. And being where I need to be for Coach and the team, it's what I have to do. And honestly, if a point comes here and there, it'll come. But the defense is more important. It's what stops the winning team.
Addison, you weren't even in the rotation to start the year, and you worked your way into the rotation as the year went on. Talk about being a younger player who, given an opportunity, tried to seize that opportunity.
I was really happy when I got into bigger games because it was really fun, and I love watching them play. And I just tried to work really hard to meet their standards.
I've never seen that girl more nervous than I go into the D9 game.
But talk about how it's great to see like the way that this program has become just that, a program where you guys can reach into the JV level. You know, you guys were, a couple of you were there and weren't there when Abby won her first championship and we were just playing JV, and then you guys stepped up and became champions, and now to see Addison do the same thing. What does that talk about the program that you guys are starting to build here at North Clarion?
I think they're all like watching us and like getting excited to play and like watching all the championship games. I think it just gets them really excited.
And I think we like winning, so we want to keep that going. So
I also think they're kind of learning that to be on the varsity team, you have to step up in your skills and everything. It's not just a mess around game. You're serious all the time. You got to have good skills. You got to play good defense. It's hardcore.
Abby, I've kind of saved you for last because there was a lot of pressure that was put on to you this year. You know, a lot of people are like, Abby Gatesman's going to have to take over for Tori Obenrader. Abby Gatesman's going to have to be the person that leads this team if they want to win this year. You seem to have the personality that you probably embrace that kind of pressure, don't you?
To an extent, I think, yeah. I think that coming in, I knew that obviously I'd have to play well this year if I could do what I could to help the team win, but I also knew that these girls were working really hard to step up as well, so I think that all of us just knew that we could do it as a team, and the gap that Tori left was obviously a huge one, so it wasn't necessarily that we were going to come out and be the same team that we were last year.
You guys seem to celebrate a lot at Taco Bell. How did that get its start?
I don't know. I think it honestly was, he would always give us options, and like, I mean, McDonald's and Burger King.
it's always Taco Bell.
Yeah, it's always Taco Bell, and it's just something we always enjoy to eat. Like after school, some of us will go there. It's just great food. And I think they actually
won. We got to go to Taco Bell, so we look forward to it.
Did they start to get to know you at the Taco Bell in Clarion?
I think
so. I think they actually painted their building after us. Did you see that it's purple? Like it's purple. I actually think they painted it.
Oh my God.
My mom actually pointed that out to me.
Sponsor us?
Yes, they could sponsor us.
You know, the season maybe didn't end the way you guys wanted it to end, but for those of you coming back, what did you guys learn from the loss to Sewickley?
Don't take a game for granted.
We knew they were lower than us, and I think that got in our heads that, hey, we could win this, and we watched film on them, and we didn't really focus on it. We were just like, oh, it's a blowover, but it bit us in the butts, and now we're done.
For you, Gabby, Carl, you know, your career's coming to an end. When you think back to 3 straight district titles and all of that, did you ever imagine when you were a sophomore that you'd be sitting here with 3 District 9 gold medals?
No, I would not have, because like coming from West Forest, not having a team this year, I was like, no, but yeah, I never would have thought, but I wouldn't want any other team.
For those of you coming back, you know, I was talking to Coach Dryhoff. I know you guys are all kind of getting involved with an AAU program that's going to allow you guys to all play together. Just talk about your love for basketball and why you guys want to do something like that.
I think for all of us, there's just, it's really rewarding to be able to go out and work so hard and then have a season be so successful like we've had the past couple of years. So I think that, I mean, there's not really, you can't really explain like the gold medal being put around your neck. So
I also think that us being so close as like friends, we've known each other our whole lives. I think that makes us love the game more and feel the rush together, and we just enjoy it so much.
We like played basketball with each other for literally ever, so.
You know, I see the pictures that some of your parents will post on Facebook from, you know, you guys winning titles or winning 3-on-3 tournaments when you guys were like 4th and 5th grade. That's obviously, I know that embarrasses you guys a little bit when they do that, but they do it because they're proud of you, and I think you all know that. But you know, when you think about how long some of you have played together, is it really amazing what you guys have been able to accomplish?
I mean, I think it definitely explains why we've accomplished so much, and we've had Terry Obenrader our whole lives coaching us too, so it's definitely helped us.
When you see something like a team like Berlin Brothers Valley win the state title, does that, like, hey, you know what, why can't that be us at a place like North Clarion?
think so. I think that we just have to get the right mindset in state playoffs and be able to play at the highest level that we can. I mean, I really think that if we would have played better our first round, we could have gone pretty far in playoffs. So, I mean, I think it's just a matter of playing our best and getting by the Catholic schools.
And I definitely think next year we're going to have a chance to try to prove that again going into the state playoffs if we play our game.
As you think about the season, what are some of the fun things that maybe people don't know about, that maybe pull back the curtain a little bit, and some of the things that you guys did that are the memories that'll last a lifetime?
Like singing on the bus and just having fun after the games that we win.
The Taco Bell trips.
Oh, yes. I definitely think Terry's mother, when she makes us our cookies, we know we're getting them before, and if we win, after.
Speaking of Terry Dryhop and Terry Obenrader, what's it like to play for the Terrys?
I think that we're really lucky to have them as coaches, considering like some players and other teams and other stuff aren't that lucky. But we have really great coaches that not only teach us the game, but kind of teach us how to work together and just overall listen. And we're really lucky to have them as coaches, I'd say.
Yeah, and they're there for us on and off the court. So
at all times, it's like a big family, and they just bring everything together, and it's amazing.
Abby, you told Terry Dryhop as a sophomore that you wanted 4 gold medals. You got 3 now. What do you guys have to do to get that 4th one?
I would say just put in the work this offseason, because it doesn't matter what teams lost out of this year, losing seniors that were really influential. But I think that for us, it's just we know we can be playing better, and we know that we have not reached our top yet, so we're just excited to see where we can go.
Well, ladies, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to sit down and talk with us again. This is becoming a yearly tradition up here at North Clarion.
Hope to see you next year.
Well, for your sake, I hope you get an opportunity to see us again next year. But thanks a lot, and congratulations on another great season.